last time we read this book, Owen's mom and dad tried to get rid of his blanket Fuzzy. His yellow blanket Fuzzy. And Mrs. Tweezers, the neighbor, told them that he was too old to be carrying around his blanket Fuzzy. He was too old. I wonder how that made Owen feel. Let's read and find out. Now the author of the book,
Kevin Henkes
writes the words good, and it's Kevin Henkes. Owen had a fuzzy yellow blanket. He'd had it since he was a baby. He loved it with all his heart. Let's look at Owen. He's clutching the blanket really tight.
I get it.
And he's sucking his thumb. Let's suck our thumb. He's sucking his thumb. I know sometimes babies suck their thumb, right?
My sister
Babies
do.
suck their thumb, maybe like your sister does, to
And
make
maybe
them
like my brother does.
to make them feel better, to make them feel comforted, so they feel safe. That makes me think maybe that's why Owen is sucking his thumb and has his blanket,
Like that.
because it makes him feel comforted and feel safe.
Like I say.
What do we do with our mouth during read aloud? Can you put a bubble in it? Thank you. Fuzzy goes where I go, said Owen. And Fuzzy did. Upstairs, downstairs, in between, inside, outside, and even upside down. Wow, Owen takes Fuzzy everywhere with him. He must love his blanket so much. I bet he's thinking, I want Fuzzy to do everything with me because I love Fuzzy. I'm thinking he's a little dependent on Fuzzy. He thinks he can't go anywhere or do anything without him. Fuzzy likes what I like, said Owen. And Fuzzy did. Orange juice, grape juice, chocolate milk, ice cream, peanut butter, applesauce, and cake. We can see over here that the author wrote some words coming from Owen. And he's saying, Fuzzy's messy. But you know what? Let's look at Owen's face, friends. He looks like he's smiling.
He's happy.
I don't think he finds it disgusting or gross that Fuzzy's messy. He thinks it's funny that Fuzzy's messy.
Yeah.
I wonder if his mother thinks it's funny too. I don't think his mother thinks it's as funny that Fuzzy is messy. Isn't he getting a little too old to be carrying that thing around? Asked Mrs. Tweezers. Haven't you heard of the blanket fairy? Owen's parents hadn't. Mrs. Tweezers filled them in. Everybody look at Mrs. Tweezers. I bet she's thinking, Owen is too old to be carrying around that baby blanket. He is not mature. Mature is when you act like you're a big kid, act older. He's not acting mature. He's not acting like a big kid. Look at Mom and Dad's faces. Do we see their faces, Joe? I think they look worried or concerned. They're worried. Joe, do you see? Bet they're worried that their neighbor thinks he's not acting mature. That night, Owen's parents told Owen to put Fuzzy under his pillow. In the morning, Fuzzy would be gone. But the blanket fairy would leave an absolutely wonderful, positively perfect, especially terrific, big boy gift. Let's look at Owen's face here. His eyes are really big. Let's make our eyes look really big. And his eyebrows are raised. I know sometimes that's what I do when I'm nervous or worried. I go, I'm wondering if Owen feels that way too. I think he might feel worried that the blanket fairy is going to take Fuzzy away. We know, Kevin, that he's dependent on Fuzzy, right? He can't go anywhere without him. I bet he's nervous the blanket fairy's going to take him away. Owen stuffed Fuzzy inside his pajama pants. Stuff it in your pants. Stuff it in your pants.
I am so tight.
And went to sleep. And hands in your lap. I bet Owen is thinking, if I stuff Fuzzy into my pants, the blanket fairy won't be able to find him. I bet he's thinking that. Because he doesn't want Fuzzy.
That's disgusting.
He doesn't want Fuzzy to be taken away. He doesn't want Fuzzy to be gone. In the morning, no blanket fairy, said Owen. No kidding, said his mother. No wonder, Kevin, said his father. Owen's parents, let's look with our eyes. 3, 2, 1, Sawyer, let's look with our eyes. Owen's parents can see that he stuffed Fuzzy in his pants. I bet they're thinking, no wonder the blanket fairy didn't come. Their faces do not look happy. They don't look pleased. They look concerned or worried. Josiah, put your clothes on. Or worried. Maybe you're mad. Fuzzy's dirty, said Owen's mother. Fuzzy's torn and ratty, said Owen's father. No, said Owen. Fuzzy is perfect. And Fuzzy was. I bet Owen is thinking, I love Fuzzy so much. He's perfect. Fuzzy played Captain Plunger with Owen. Fuzzy helped Owen become invisible. Invisible is when you can't be seen. So cover your face. You're invisible. Cover your face. And put your hands back in your lap. Owen continues. Guys, look. Owen continues to take Fuzzy everywhere. He must really love him. I bet he's thinking, Fuzzy is my best friend. And Fuzzy was essential when it came to nail clippings, haircuts, and trips to the dentist. Owen says Fuzzy was essential. Essential means he needed to bring it with him. He thinks he can't do anything without Fuzzy. He's dependent on Fuzzy. I know, Clara, that when I go to the dentist, or when I get a haircut, or when my nails get clipped, I get a little scared. I'm a little scared or frightened of the dentist. So maybe I'm thinking that's why Owen needs Fuzzy. Maybe Owen feels frightened of the dentist, feels scared. And Fuzzy makes him feel better, feel safe, feel confident. Oh no, it's Mrs. Tweezers again. Can't be a baby forever, said Mrs. Tweezers. Haven't you heard of the vinegar trick? Owen's parents had it. Mrs. Tweezers filled them in. That's not
Why do it look like she got shoes on?
She has shoes on over here? Oh, so let's look at the bottom. Let's look at the bottom. She's standing. Does anybody know what she's standing on?
On a bucket.
Buckets or flower pots. So why do you think she needs to stand on something?
So she could talk. So she could talk to Owen's parents.
Very good. So she needs to stand on it to be able to see over the top of the fence. Because remember, she's their neighbor. That means she lives next door. All right. So Mrs. Tweezer says, can't be a baby forever. Oh no, she must think Owen is too old to be carrying that blanket. She doesn't think he's mature. She doesn't think he's acting like a big kid. And look at Mom and Dad's faces again, Olivia. Do they look happy? No. They look worried or concerned. They're feeling worried. I bet they're thinking, Owen needs to be more mature. Mrs. Tweezers is right. When